Hey, hi everyone. Hope you're doing well. Today we're gonna do a session on implementing the interactive live streaming with the Android. So before jumping to that, let me just share my screen and give you a basic idea on the video SDK and what kind of products it does provide, as well as what kind of problem it solves. So just let me share my screen quickly. Okay, here we are. Okay, so whoever is first time able to see me, I'm Arjun. I'm co-founder at Video SDK. I'm generally leading the technology and the product at the company. So Video SDK is basically a infrastructure of live video for the developers. I'll start with the basic statement of why we got to solve this problem. So if you consider that and see the capabilities of, let's say, a new network devices such as 5G deployment, such as fiber to home. Apart from that, if you consider that the high quality cameras and all the devices that we have been using, such as mobile cameras, creator tools, smartwatches, or cameras in VR headset, or just cameras in glasses. All of this is helping people to go live together. It's pretty much easier nowadays to anyone going live with these devices, and we all are doing the same in our daily lives. Apart from that, if I'll consider this from the audience perspective, humans are pretty much visual creatures, and we love to see the replication of real world virtually. It could be your office workspace if you colleagues are collaborating together, or it's just a video call that you've been doing with your dad. Another thing is like the all the modern devices are becoming our organs. We are actually using it on a daily basis. If you see the traditional live streaming, there had been millions of viewers watching one single broadcast of maybe a cricket match or a soccer match or something like that. Nowadays, it's more about engaging and collaborating instead of just watching the streams. People are going live with the millions of sessions. At the same time, there are millions of participants joining them on stage, off stage, via chat, buying the goods, having a interactive experience for them. So it seems that future of the video is more immersive and interactive. But the major consideration over here is the trend has already been started. If you see uh, the large consumer applications, it could be in gaming, it could be in social media, or it could be in the virtual reality, such as meta rooms, YouTube Together, or guest mode in Twitch, or just meta workspace. Apart from that, these gaming experiences like Roblox or Fortnite is having a live interaction as well, which validates the similar problem statements for everyone. But the major problem over here is like for the developers, building live products are really tough. It takes months to build. It requires different kind of tools, services, platforms. You need to optimize it for many devices. You have to optimize it for the browsers. You have to optimize it for the high latency across the globe. You have to make sure that someone is joining from maybe a USA or a Singapore. They both have the same experience. There are a lot of complex billing cycles with such kind of solution. You have to keep the servers running even though there is no session or completely idle. There's a very less customization and the flexibility available with all the tools right now available in the market. That's where Video SDK comes into the picture. It's help you to build the engagement. It's easy to integrate. It's completely cross-channel. You just have to write for a couple of days of code, and you're good to go. We handle all the edge cases, all the compatibility concerns, and at the same time, it's highly customizable and it runs on the infrastructure that scales. Video SDK provides two major products. One is the audio video conferencing, completely real time, glass to glass, as you're able to see me right now, which provides 300 plus participant support with just less than 90 ms latency, and having a pretty much cross device support with Android, iOS, and all other browsers, with cross platform support as well. So at the same time, you can develop this on the Flutter, React Native, Android Native, iOS Native, or in React. It provides a better bitrate in the frame rate with very much adaptation. Apart from that, many of the application nowadays are building highly collaborative features within the conferencing. So we do provide all this stuff in one single SDK. Apart from that, on other end, we're having the support of millions of participants in interactive live streaming. We provide a HTTP live streaming. We believe that the WebRTC on the large scale is not a best fit for the live streaming. It does have a lot of problems. Having the software encoders and all those stuff. So with the interactive live streaming experience, we have a out of the box support of HTTP live streaming, which you can directly combine and customize with our conferencing solution. It's adaptive. It's very much compatible with any device. It takes very less computation and memory for edge devices. Apart from that, it's completely different than the traditional live streaming. It does provide you a co-streaming support. It does provide you a playback support. You can output it as RTMP or HLS, and you can have a lot of collaborative features on top of that as well. If I talk about the specific features, as I said earlier, you can co-stream with multiple creators at the same time. You can have a chat functionality, GIFs functionality with just writing a couple of lines of code. You can customize the whole live streaming experience with very much graphics. You can change the background, you can put this lower thirds, inviting multiple creators or speakers on the stage at any point of time. And it's completely dynamic. You don't have to fill this with bulky backend APIs. It's all front end. You can build your own experience with one single template. It also provides a high quality live streaming. Thousands of participants, a very less frame drop, and with the high bitrate. It's compatible with any kind of device. It can run on the desktop and laptop at the same time. Based on the configuration, it adapts the resolution, it adapts the bitrate accordingly. If I talk about a couple of use cases, one of the best use case for interactive live streaming is gaming experiences, where multiple gamers wanted to join together, wanted to speak together. At the same time, they wanted to go live. And they wanted to interact with their audience. Another use case is live commerce. People wanted to go live, sell the products, interact with the people or a buyer, as well as at the same time provide the customized flow to buy the product on the same screen. The third use case is education, of course. You wanted to put collaborative features like poll, chat, Q&A, whiteboard, all of this possible. You can invite any student at any point of time on the stage, and it's 100% viable. So that's it from my side. Next, I'll ask Isa from our team to explain the details of implementation. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I am Isha from Video SDK. Today we are building a live stream Android app with a Video SDK. So let's start. Share my screen first. Okay. So here is a official documentation website of video SDK. Open the quick start, go to the Android, then go to the start with the interactive live streaming. Okay, here we are. Quick start for the interactive live streaming. Before starting the code, let's understand the architecture of an app. Here we have a three screens: join screen, speaker screen, and a viewer screen. In the join screen, we have a three buttons: create meeting, join as a host, and join as a viewer. If you create a meeting or join as a host, you will consider as a speaker and navigate to the speaker screen. In the speaker screen, we have a recycler view which will render the speaker view. Then we have a meeting controls. And in the viewer screen, we have a player which will play the live stream. Okay. So let's start with the code. First thing is to do a create a new project. So let's create one. Go to the Android Studio, click on new project. Then select empty activity. Then click on next. Give a name of your project. Here I am giving HLS demo. And click on finish. Okay, our project is ready. Now integrate a video SDK. You can integrate a video SDK using a Maven Center or a Jetpack. Here I am using Jetpack, so let's copy these lines. Open settings.gradle file and paste in dependency resolution management. Then click on sync now. Okay. Now add the dependency into our project. Copy these lines. Open build.gradle file and paste it here. Okay, now click on sync now. Okay. So in the project we are working with a camera and audio. So we need to add a permission for that. So let's copy these lines. Open Android manifest file and paste it here. Okay. Our project setup is ready. Now let's start with the actual code. Step 1 is to create a joining screen. For that we need to add a activity named joining activity. In the joining activity we have three buttons: create meeting button, join as a host button, join as a viewer button, and one text view for the meeting ID. Okay, so let's copy this XML file. Go to the Android Studio. Then first activity named as a join activity. Go to the XML file of the activity join and paste it here. Okay. Now let's integrate a create meeting API. For that, create a field named sample token in a join activity which will hold the generated token from the video SDK dashboard. Okay, so let's create a field name sample token here. Okay, now let's generate a token from the dashboard. Open the video SDK dashboard page. Then click on generate token. Here you have to set a expiry time for the token. Here I am selecting the 7 days. Click on next. Okay, here is a token. Copy this token and paste it here. Okay. Now on join as a host, we will navigate to the meeting activity, which will create a later with a token, meeting ID, and a mode as a conference. What is a mode we will discuss later, okay, so don't worry about that. And on join as a viewer, we will navigate to the meeting activity with a token, meeting ID, and mode as a viewer. Okay, so let's copy this entire on create method and replace with this. Okay, let's import all the classes. Okay, for the create button under the create meeting, we will generate a meeting ID by calling the API, and then we will navigate to the meeting activity with a token, meeting ID, and mode as a conference. Okay, so let's copy this create meeting method. Import the classes. Okay, now our app is completely based on audio and video communication, so we need to ask a runtime permission for it. So let's copy this lines, paste it here. Okay, let's import the classes. And call in the on create method. Okay, after the button listeners. Okay, so our joining screen is ready now. The step number 2 is to create a meeting screen. In the meeting screen, we will initialize the video SDK. Then we will configure the video SDK with the token. Then we will initialize the video SDK meeting with a meeting ID, participant name, mic enable, webcam enable, participant ID, mode, and a custom track. So what is a mode? In the video SDK, we have two types of mode, conference mode and the viewer mode. If you are pass a conference here, then you will able to produce or consume any type of media. But if you are pass a viewer here, then you will not able to produce or consume any type of media. Okay. Then we will join the meeting. After joining the meeting, we will add the listener for the on meeting join event. In the on meeting join event, we will replace this main layout with a speaker fragment or a viewer fragment based on the mode. Okay, so let's copy this meeting activity XML file. Let's first create the activity. We can finish. Go to the XML file of meeting activity. Paste it here. Okay. Now let's copy this meeting activity class and replace with it. Let's import all the classes. So our meeting screen is ready. Now the third step is to implement a speaker view. To render a speaker's view and manage the controls with like toggle webcam, mic, start or stop HLS, or leave the meeting. Okay, so let's create a new fragment named speaker fragment. In the speaker fragment, we have a text view for the meeting ID, leave button, another text view for the state of the HLS, recycler view to render the speaker view, and three buttons to toggle the media. Okay, so let's copy this XML file. Okay, let's first create a fragment. Speaker fragment. Okay, paste here the XML file. Okay, now let's set a listeners for the buttons. Here we are set a listener for the button mic, which will toggle the mic. Then we will set a listener for the button webcam, which will toggle your webcam. Then we will set a listener for the button leave to leave the meeting. And then finally we are set a listener for the button HLS, which will start or stop the HLS. Okay, so let's copy this entire speaker fragment class. Go to the speaker fragment and replace with all this. Let's import the classes. Okay, after adding the listener for the button, let's add a meeting event listener, which will listen for the on meeting left event and on HLS state change event. On HLS state change event will trigger whenever the state of the HLS is changed. Okay, so let's copy this meeting event listener and on destroy method. In that we will remove that listeners. Okay, import the classes. Okay, let's add this listener into the meeting. Okay, the next step is to render the speaker view. For that we are here using a recycler view. So for that we need to add a new layout for the participant view named item remote peer. Okay, so let's copy this XML file. Go to the Android Studio, resource, in layout, create a new layout resource file, name item remote peer. Then click on OK. Okay, now we need to create a recycler view adapter named speaker adapter. Okay, in that we are listening for the on participate join event and on participate left event. Then we have a one method update participant list. In that we are add the local participant into our list and other participant who joined before you. Okay, then we are override the on bind view holder method. In that we are adding the initial video stream for the participant into the video view. Then we are add the listener to the participant which will update the video stream. Okay, so let's copy this speaker adapter class. First create one class name speaker adapter. Okay, and paste it here. Okay, now add this listener to the recycler view. So let's copy these lines. Go to the speaker fragment here. Okay. Okay. So our speaker screen is ready now. It will look like this with two participants. Okay. Now stage 4 is to implement a viewer view. In the viewer view, we have a player. Here we are using the XO player. Okay, so let's first add a dependency into our project. So let's copy this and go to the build file. Okay, then click on sync now. Okay. Now let's create a new fragment named viewer fragment. In the viewer fragment, we have a text view for the meeting ID, leave button, waiting layout which will show when there is a no active HLS. Okay, and the player view which will display the live streaming. Okay, so let's copy this XML file. Go to the Android Studio. First create a fragment. Viewer fragment. Go to the XML file. Okay, and paste it here. Okay. Now it's time to initialize the player and playing the HLS stream. To play the HLS stream, you need a downstream URL. You will get a downstream URL when the HLS state change to HLS playable. So we will initialize the player when the state of the HLS is changed to HLS playable and release the player when it's changed to HLS stopped. Okay. So let's copy this viewer fragment class. Go to the viewer fragment. Remove all this unnecessary code and paste it here. Okay, let's import the classes. our viewer screen is ready. Okay, so let's run the app, but before that let's set a join activity as a launcher activity. So cut this out, and in the join activity paste it here. So let's set a export it to true. Okay, let's run the app into two different devices, one for the speaker and one for the viewer. Okay, here we are, a duplicate class error. Okay, so to resolve this, open the graded properties. Here you need to set Android enable checkifier to true. Okay, click on sync now. Okay, let's rerun the app. Okay, let's run another. Let's accept the permission and create a meeting. Okay, here we are joining as a host, a speaker. So let's join as a viewer here. Okay, it says waiting for the host to start the live streaming because we are not started yet. Okay, so let's start the HLS. Okay, as you can see, the state of the HLS is updated to HLS started. Okay, as you can see, the state of the HLS is updated to HLS started. As you can see at the viewer side, the live stream is started. Okay, as you can as you can see at the viewer side. So congratulations, we built a very fantastic live stream Android app with a video SDK. Thank you so much for joining.
Great. Thanks a lot, Isa, for explaining this in brief detail. Uh, I'll ask everyone, like, if you have any questions, like, please let us know. Before, if anyone does not ask a question, I have one question for you, Isa. So,
Yes.
if you can suggest, developers how they can, while implementing the app, what kind of things they may have to take care for the best experience.
Okay, so first you have to uh, this duplicate class error. So first you have to set this enable justifier to true,
Mhm. Makes
and
sense.
right, and then our SDK is completable with this architecture. So if you want to run the into emulator, then select ABI x8664 when creating one. Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Great, great. Thanks a lot. If someone wanted to, optimize the video stream, let's say for low internet bandwidth or maybe a mid internet bandwidth,
Yes.
how
So
can
if
we
you want
do
to,
that?
yeah, sorry.
Yes, yes, please go.
Yeah. So if you want to, if you have a no internet, so you can use a custom track for it. Okay. So you can browse it in the documentation for the custom track.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Great, great. Uh, I think it was a really great session. So nobody has any questions as of now. So Nayan have one question. Does Android SDK support
Yes.
check or
Android.
Maven? Okay. It supports both of it, Nayan, as Isa suggested. So you can have either of it. Great. Great, then. I think we don't have any other questions as of now. So thanks a lot for your time, Issa. It was really a great session. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in. You've been really great audience. If you have any questions or any further queries on it, please join our Discord server. Once you leave this session, you'll get redirected to there, and keep using Video SDK. Keep asking us. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Bye bye.